Competition never match me. We ain't go together like camouflage and polka dots. Focus on your position, just know your spot. Sure, don't stop.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
Now a first down throw, Stafford. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
And he did everything possible to rally his team to a win last week, didn't he? What did he throw for?
Over 450 yards.
I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. So, obviously, he and the offense were clicking pretty well. The other 2/3, though, that comes into question. Defense and special teams, they'll need all of them to play better in this one, too.
13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. They run again on first down. Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
On the ground, it's Cook. After the play, not a good sign. Dalvin Cook staying on the ground. We'll check on his status when we get back. A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the run, Abdullah. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. They'll run here. Abdullah. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. A stop there on 3rd. They could have held them to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there, and I'd go right at them with another momentum play. Go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on 3rd down.
A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Anthony Barr in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Stafford, and he's going to go down again. Anthony Barr in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And the pressure gets to him again. Anthony Barr, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And it's fielded at the 34. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
Keep on coming, baby. Keep coming.
Mike Zimmer's made his decision, and that decision is to try and go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run for it. Cook. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run. Cook. And he'll go down at the 28.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. And again this time to the tailback. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. He gets this one to Johnson. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, it's Cook, and he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. No surprise. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Bridgewater to throw it. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing, Bridgewater. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings.
Great job. Touchdown.
Adam Thielen. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do, because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now let's look at the quarterback, Matthew Stafford. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams...
Now, loose football. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Tackle made by the 3rd-round pick out of Louisiana, Tracy Walker. A 2nd down run for Abdullah. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Now Bridgewater on 4th down. And he's able to find Diggs. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. On 1st down, Abdullah. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out, and he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They run with Abdullah. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. And the catch made by Johnson. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to the ground now. Here's Abdullah. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down. Bailey's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So, well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here are the Vikings to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Starting the third quarter with Cook. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's second down now. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Bridgewater. Complete. It's Johnson. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. To throw is Bridgewater. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 32-yard line. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Bridgewater now. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Tyrone Crawford. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Bridgewater. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So that one is his third of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax.
A hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't get in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Anthony Barr in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Anthony Barr in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Now a run with Cook, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Let's put him on the buses.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Good team on it. Good team on it. He can't hang. A
1st down throw for Bridgewater. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. Johnson was the intended receiver.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now it's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Anthony Barr in there for the 7th time in this game alone, and that ties him with the late Derek Thomas for the most sacks ever in a single game. After the sack on first down, Stafford into the hands of his tight end, Jeff Swain. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Play action. Stafford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. Now on 2nd and 16. Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Anthony Barr in there yet again. They just cannot block him. He now has 8 sacks, and that is a new single-game record. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. Going up top. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota with this lead and the football. Things obviously looking good, but maybe... Yeah, you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
Again, it's Cook. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 30 yards there. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Throwing is Bridgewater. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, Definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
This is a duel, and not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. Stafford on third down. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. That his first catch so far. They held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzling me a little bit. This challenge was
an incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. 35 yards that time on the punt, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Here's Stafford. Now they set up the screen for Clement. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, here's Stafford. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Let's go.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
On 1st down, Cook. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Now a give running right, it's Cook. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time.